Getting out of the shadow realm, exclamation mark. Still talking about Jasmine, exclamation mark. Does none of that pick up? No, it doesn't. Okay. Alrighty. Gonna do that. Bam. Hey, CJ. Welcome back. Thank you for coming on back. We're gonna get up out of this shadow realm so fresh and so clean. Hello, Vegas Print. Hello, James. Hello, Karen. Hello, Jay with the motorcycle pick. I am summoning them all back to the place where we all began. Bam. Hello, Athena. Hey, Paul. What's up? Hello, Mona Lisa. Hello, Kimmy. Hello, John. Welcome back, CJ. Hello, Mike. Hello, Francis. Hello, Brenda. All right. Hey, Sean. Hello to Grandma. Y'all, please do share the live. If you've already shared it with all your people, hit copy link. That does help the number go up. I've calmed down a lot. Right on. Hello, Rico Love. Hello, Frank.
To Four Loco or not to Four Loco?
No. Hello, your worst. Hello,
As a
Nathan.
quick no.
Yeah, no. No thanks. Hello, Jonna. I hope, I got you. I hope Stacy and Little Scrappy are able to rejoin us soon. Hello, Josh.
Oh, have a little faith in Stacy. She'll be here soon.
Oh, for sure. Hello, Fo. Hello, Azza.
I think I've got it almost right down.
Okay.
Almost.
Well, we're not in a hurry. We just got started back up.
DJ, my kind of woman.
Yeah. Turn camera on. I don't see why it thinks my camera's off. It sees me, like, obviously. Alright, let's do that. Hello, Kitty. I bet that's why you do that. Hello, Jesus. Hello, random dude. Hello, David.
Barry's not a player. I just crush a lot.
I know, right? Hello, Esmeralda. Hello, Aaron. Uh, hello, Champagne. Oh, there's one. Hello, Derek.
Yeah.
Hello, Captain Ziggy. Still waiting on Scrappy to come on through, even though I do know that Scrappy's having connection issues. Hey, Comrade Slay. Hello, Sean. Well, we're still waiting for the star of the show. Welcome back, Second Story. Hello, Sci Spy. Alright, we're getting a little bit of traction. Hello, Donald. I did send an invitation to Scrappy. Hello, Thomas Spencer. Um, hello, M. How you doing, New Age? We're gonna give a little Scrappy a few minutes. I do like that. I know that people have a lot. Hello, Smurfette. I know that people have a lot to say about the SMEX work policy, especially me as a former SMEX worker who might be getting back into it. Hello, Mr. J. As FOSTA Sesta really brought down a lot of folks. Oh, today's Friday. I didn't need to do that. Oh well. Hello, Brazil. Hello, Engineer. Engineer. Hello, King Chess. Hello, Nathan. Hello, Debbie. All right, I'm getting laundry together, so y'all please do let up Scrappy when they get back. Hello, Greg Mystery. Um, but if anybody has anything that they want to say while we're waiting, you're definitely welcome to discuss. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Coleman.
Do you want me to talk about the basics of the policies
Yeah,
for people
sure.
who aren't aware?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So Jasmine Sherman is a 2024 presidential candidate. They are running on an independent ticket, but utilizing a multi-party approach. They are the candidate for the minor party, the Unicorn Party, um, but also utilizing other existing established parties. So you may have seen them on your primary ballot for the Green Party, currently running for the nomination of that. Also, the People's Party of Texas, the Peace and Freedom Party in California, and some libertarian primaries on the East Coast. We have to remember that your party is just your vehicle to get your name on the ballot. Outside of that, it doesn't really matter what the party line is. They just make it really hard for third party candidates to get on the ballot. But their running mate is Tanda Bluebear. They're running on guaranteed housing, universal health care, universal basic income, and free education. And so today we are reading some of the policies from jasminesherman.com. If you haven't been to the website, the link is in my bio and also on the host screen here. But there are 29 fully thorough posted policies, and they all have a audiobook associated as well. So if you want to listen to them rather than read them, you can do that while you're multitasking, or if you just learn and understand better verbally, that is available for you on the website. But yeah, host is back. What's up?
Oh no, I was just checking and see if my orange shirt will blend in with the orange background, and it is not so.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
in the event Scrappy doesn't return, if somebody else feels comfortable reading the policies, you're welcome to. Because Scrappy is taking a while now.
I'm on my way to your city. I can't.
Oh yeah, that's right. Um, but Sean, I thought you were going with Stacy.
No, it's me, my mom, and my son.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's Scrappy. Right on. Hey, Scrappy, welcome back.
Hey,
Um, so we can definitely resume the conversation, and then you can read the next policy whenever you're comfortable. And y'all, please do give Scrappy.
yeah,
Scrappy
I'm gonna
doing
read
the
the
free.
next policy when I come back. I just have to go pick up my little grocery run. It's only like 2 bags. So I'm gonna still be here and listening, but I can definitely read it when I get back. I'm not going that far from the house, so
Oh, okay. Right on. Well, we can like discuss
yeah,
until
for
we get to
sure.
that point. So what so Stacy, if you would be so kind as to tell us if you know who was behind the Smex work policy.
I wrote it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I
Uh
don't the way it works is we have people who write and people who do art and people who we have people who like to do certain things that they like to do, but no policy is ever posted without the input of everybody. So I drafted it, and then we have a meeting. It's a public meeting. Anybody's allowed to come to the meetings and weigh in on policies, but we read it out loud, and then everybody gets to put their opinions, or if we should change something or change some grammar or the flow, or we should add something, and then we vote on it. And if it's a vote, or if we get an approval vote, then we post it to the website. So yeah,
okay,
that's that's how the policies work.
there you go. That's how policy should work. Um yeah, this is my first political campaign that I'm working on. Uh either ever or for president. I've worked for policies before, and I've worked for groups that are pushing like certain agendas, but I've never worked for like a person.
Right. Me neither. I've
And
never
as
done anything political in my life.
a former SMEX worker, it's definitely refreshing to have somebody who is on the side of SMEX workers running for office. And we can finally do something about FOSTA and SESTA. I mean, FOSTA and SOSTA. Hey, Naomi.
Absolutely. Like, people need to be able to like, and we have to understand the difference between legalizing something and decriminalizing something.
That's true.
Because this is the decriminalization of sex work.
Right, right.
Like, you need to be able to raise your hand and say this harm occurred to me. Like, if harm occurred right now, people are not able to do that because they would be criminalized before they would be cared about.
Right.
So we have to remove the stigma.
You're absolutely right. I guess we can just sit in some quiet for a little bit. Hello, Double D. Hello, Anne. Hello, Denise.
I think it would be good, like in regards to the restorative justice program or policy and abolishing prisons in association with the housing policy, um, understanding what it would look like if there was any type of criminal activity in the future. It's not going to be like a jail cell. It's going to be your house,
Yeah.
and you would have a social worker, and a therapist, and monitoring, um, house arrest essentially. So, like, decriminalizing only makes sense because we're not going to have you in a jail anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense. And like just to go with like the policy, a perfect reason like why this policy needs to exist is because of documentaries like The Stroll. And that's a beautiful, amazing documentary where a young trans woman talks about her life as a SMEX worker working on 14th Street, which they called back in the day the meatpacking district, right? And she goes and she talks with other girls who are older than her, probably like two or three, about giving their accounts and experience. There was one trans woman that talked about how she got thrown into jail 69 times. 69 times because she was out there trying to survive. And this is why I'm really happy that you guys wrote that piece of legislation, because people like her, like she really did her job, really raising awareness and things like that. So I just wanted to speak about that documentary. If you haven't watched it, it's really good.
Yeah. So I know we got some people on the move, so I am going to do laundry, but I'm not going to shut off the live. I'm going to have a playlist going, and when Little Scrappy and myself are both ready, I will then turn off the playlist and we will get back into it. So like think of this as something of an intermission while we're going to have some nice music playing. And y'all do the things, and then we can do the things. But in the meantime, please do like the live, tap that screen. I'm going to get a poll going real quick so people have something to vote on while I'm not here. And if I have mods in here, so if people come in, start being wild, just fucking go ahead and kick them. And I think that mods have the power to turn on and off the comments. So this, as you may have already noticed, this account isn't doesn't have the subscription. So you don't have to worry about turn on sub only chat or anything. If people start getting wild, But I'm not really worried about getting raided. Knock on wood. But if shit goes down, hopefully I'll be back in time for that. But in the meantime, if like little trolleys come in, y'all can go ahead and just kick them. We're gonna get started. Hey, Limited, you're coming in right at the intermission. Our lovely guest reader is running some errands right now, and I'm also gonna take this opportunity to do laundry. So we're just hanging out for a bit.
Sounds good. Me and CJ will got it covered.
I
we're
know.
about we're about ready to stop and get some food, so that's perfect.
ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कालिकायै च विद्महे शंशानवासिन्यै धीमहि तन्नो अघोरा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि नमः। 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 ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि नमः।
Alright, I saw Stacy left, but I know Stacy's eating. Hey, Witch. Hey, Rick. It's raining bad here. Okay. Hey, Turtle. Hey, Paul. Everyone enjoying the music? Everyone relax, have some water? Right on. I appreciate you, CJ. I think Scrappy's catching it hard. I did see the post about rain, but I don't know how long ago that was.
It just
Okay. Do you want to keep the music going, or are you ready?
yeah, I'm about to get in the house. Like,
Oh, take your time. I still have laundry to do, so I'll put the music back on, and you'll probably be ready by the time I get the stuff back. I'm parked
okay.
waiting for groceries. Right on. I'm parked waiting for groceries, so I can safely text. Right on. Thank you, CJ. Hello, more. Thank y'all so much for the likes. Let's get to 5K likes. We're at 3.6. Let's get to 5. And let's get to 10 shares. We're at 4 shares. Let's get to 10 shares, y'all. 10K likes and 10 shares. In the meantime, thank you to the person who's keeping the poll going. And thank you to everybody who's keeping the live going and keeping the chat going. I'm going to pin this. If you have any gifts, gift coins, please do.
ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि
Oops. There we go.
नमः। ॐ
Hello,
श्रीकृष्णाय
Super Solidarity.
असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय 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 असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णायै 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 असुराक्रान्तं भारहारिणि नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण
Hey y'all. Hello, atheist abater. Hey Mel. How's everybody doing? Scrappy, you good? I'm doing well, right on. Thank you for share. Thank y'all for the 30 shares. That's what's up. Let's get to 10k likes. Little Scrappy is acting as our guest reader and co-host today, reading off Jasmine's policies. Scrappy got hung up getting some groceries. Hopefully they'll be back soon. We did do a check-in a few minutes ago, and I'm also going to step out again at about 30 minutes to go change the laundry.
I'm
Um,
back.
hey!
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, a Dusty called my phone. You know how it be in 2024.
Yeah, for real, for real. But take your time. Um, we can work on getting the things up in here. And you
I
can let
had
me
to
know whenever you're ready.
put my
Huh?
phone on D&D.
Yeah,
I
okay.
had to put my phone on D&D, but the dust keeps calling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm ready to read. The other one I wanted to read was the decriminalization of rug use and possession.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was really like interested in reading this one, and also too because I know that there are organizations that help people that are drug users. They give them access to free needles, the ban and clean syringes, and they also teach how to inject properly in the veins so
Yep.
nothing like bad really happens. And people, so like the what I've seen from like in real life and like on the internet, like people's pushback is if we're going to bring the rug use problem down, then why give them access to clean needles and all of this extra stuff? Like that's what people argue. And then the other hand, you have people saying, well, they need this so we could because there's a like a real bad stigma on rug users that there's not a lot of education out there. Like there's a lot of education out there, but people are not educated about it, right? Because like we have so many bigots in society. So again, like this is people the people have family members, friends, like whoever they know that are rug users. So again, like this education is important. Um 100%. And also, to trigger the voting thing, let me see if I can trigger it. Uh, the Republicans want to. I don't know if I can say this word because I don't want to get you shadow banned.
I think I'm already shadow banned. We've been on for a while. I mean, like, so this is my third account, so don't expect a whole bunch of people to come in anyway. But
Okay.
it's also a matter of yeah, just say what you're saying.
So the Republicans are advocating to bomb Mexico, and that's because they want to bomb the rug labs to stop the rugs coming through the southern border
No,
and
they
human
don't.
trafficking.
They want to. Let's be real. They want to bomb Mexico because Mexico has refused every fucking form of intimidation that we've put on them so far.
Correct. I was
Like,
also going to add that as well.
bruh, if we bomb Mexico, it's over. We're done. Because
Yeah,
Mexico, because like the United States really be out here acting like other people don't have allies. If we bomb Mexico, we are fucked.
yeah, very, 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 very. And that's why we need to go vote.
Exactly. But speaking of
Vote,
voting,
vote.
go ahead. Viva la Pueblo Mexico. Yeah, yeah. Mexicano, my bad.
Hmm. Is Stacy back up? Oh
Yep.
yeah. Okay. So I was gonna start reading with decriminalizing drug use and possession.
Uh-huh.
0.5 million drug arrests are made every year in the US, and the overwhelming majority for possession only. Decriminalizing is this process which the legislature removes the criminal sanctions against an act, omission, article, or behavior which is considered a crime. Decriminalization means it would remain illegal, but the legal system would not prosecute a person for the act. The Sherman administration is going to decriminalize all drugs, which will eliminate federal and state criminal penalties and collateral sanctions for drug use and possession. The war on drugs is a global campaign led by the United States and federal government of drug prohibition, and military aid and military intervention with the aim of reducing the illegal drug trade in the United States. To put in simply, it is a war on the people. It is a way to oppress people and keep the prisons full for free labor. There are many benefits to decriminalizing drug use and possession. Mainly, a start to ending the war on drugs. We'll no longer be relying on criminal justice system to police people who are on drugs. We are ending the stigmatization and meeting people where they are at. Decriminalization policies will be accompanied by an expansion of harm reduction and treatment programs, including medication assisted treatment, which is acronym for MAT. A harm reduction is a combination of practical strategies aimed at reducing negative impacts related to drug use. A harm reduction is also a movement for social justice and based on the basic rights of people who use drugs. Program will be created to facilitate in olive communities. By doing so, we are able to change our focus to treat and harm reduction services that provide significant benefits for public safety and health, including reductions in arrests, so prior to police abolition, reduction in the number of people incarcerated prior to closing prisons, increase the people entering drug treatment programs, reduction of criminal justice costs. The funds will be allocated to social programs. Hold on, I think I hear someone knocking on my door. Hold on.
All right. And while that person does that, hello, Age Mullet. Welcome back, Naomi. Oh, Mel was sitting in the box. I'm getting delayed, like, reactions and stuff, y'all.
Okay, I'm back. It was nobody. I
Okay.
don't get company like that, so when I hear my door knock, I'm like, who the hell is that? But
Heard.
anyways, uh, decriminalization of drugs does not increase drug use rates. Countries that have adopted less stringent policies or decriminalization of drug use possession have not experienced in any noteworthy increases in drug use, harm, or crime in comparison. A World Health Organization study show in U.S. had the highest lifetime drug use rates by a wide margin. Even with our current anti-drug policies, the study supports the decriminalization has little or no effect on rates of use. Safer drugs consumption services will be added to every zip code, and SCS is designated site where people who use drugs can pre-obtain substances under safety and support trained personnel. Over the last 30 years, these sites have been created in over 100 sites in over 60 cities in 11 countries all around the world. The SCS can have saved $1 million per year and do not increase drug use and crime or presence of drugs into communities. There will be standards of care and aesthetic in these facilities. All personnel will receive training and how to guidelines of treatment of clients. All personnel will be required to attend therapy weekly. The spaces will be welcome and have comfortable aesthetic while maintaining a sterile environment. These facilities will feel like a space to be safe and not like a doctor's office. A survey will be provided to all clients after each session and use of facility. Syringe service programs, also known as syringe exchange programs, SEPS, will be available in SCS. These programs will be created in each zip code and will provide access to sterile supplies and facilitate safe disposal of use supplies. Providing people access to SCS and SSP and SEP will include the following benefits and services and programs: education about overdose prevention and safer injection practices, overdose prevention and distribution of naloxone, and education for overdose reversal, reduction in injection-related infections, abscess, and provide wound care. I think that was, hold on, let me see. I just want to make sure.
Naloxone. The word was naloxone. It's a
Yes,
opiate reversal. Yeah.
thank you. Because I thought I was seeing another word. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Appreciate it. Can you say that again so I won't get it wrong?
Naloxone.
Naloxone. Thank you.
Yep.
So I was at, okay, safe disposal of syringes and reduction of injections that occur in public, referral to substance use and treatment programs, mental health, social services, and other medical services, screening for viral hepatitis and HIV care and treatment, vaccinations included hepatitis A and B, sexually transmitted infection, STI screening, and reduction in the transmission of HIV and hepatitis C. And then there's a link. Please refer to the Universal Healthcare Policy, as these services will be 100% covered. And they also have in the Netherlands, it's sector shot. The Netherlands, Portugal, and Switzerland are a few countries that have decriminalized rug use and possession for personal use and invested in programs of harm reduction. As a result, the use of injection rugs is low in these countries. So they have some FAQs at the bottom and stuff like that that people could go check out. But yeah, this is the end of the decriminalizing of rug and use possession policy.
For sure. And now everybody's open to discuss. Scrappy, thank you so much. Y'all, please do gift little Scrappy for being our guest reader and doing this free labor today. We're going over Jasmine Sherman's policies and things that we're most excited about. Jasmine is either resting, doing mutual aid, or doing something pertaining to minding their own business. And that is perfectly okay. Stacy and I work for Jasmine's campaign. Stacy much longer than I have, so we are qualified to answer questions. If people want to come up, y'all are welcome to come up. If you want to stay in the chat and ask questions and have a conversation, that is also highly appropriate and acceptable. Hello, Lonnie. Thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, the floor is open for people who want to chat. I am not a rug user myself, but I've had rug using family members, and I've seen up close and personal how we have definitely normalized a lack of compassion towards rug users while we have it in several parts of the supposed to be the framework of our country that all people are supposed to be valid. And it's really disheartening that America just isn't the country that she says she is, because like everybody should be taken care of, including rug users. And I'll land my plane there. Somebody else can go ahead.
Definitely, definitely heavy on that because like I have family that have been rug users. Like I've had family die from rugs. Like I've had my auntie who's 63 years old has HIV and she's living today and I love her to death. And I think hell and this technology and how medicine has become advancement that she's able to live until 63, right? And I hope to see her live to 100, you know? And I do feel like what you said, like there is very much a lack of compassion for people who are drug users. And when it comes to the police and how they treat them like criminals, just like they do the homeless people. And remind you, some of the drug users are homeless. So let's clock that, because that be the other problem too. And also what cities have been doing to combat the homeless is like tearing down their encampments, but also too as well they have built anti-homeless infrastructure. So that's a new thing from what I'm seeing. And basically it's like building benches that you can't really sleep on. It's like putting planter boxes on the sidewalk so no one can sleep and set up a camp. You know, like these are things that like go on, and how like there is really a lack of compassion for them, and it's disgusting. And I'm really glad that these programs are going to help, and everyone should have one. And I like how they said that it will be these centers will be in zip codes, so everyone will be able to have access to these centers to get the proper treatment, the syringe exchange, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is great.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Sean, Stacy, if y'all are available for input, y'all can please go ahead.
I can talk again. This is another policy that I wrote. This is super near and dear to me from personal experience with overdose in my family and prior harm reductionist work in the community in which I live in. So this is probably the most important policy, like to me personally. All the policies are amazing and we need all of them. But this one is like anecdotally important to me. So if anybody has questions about harm reduction or how this would be safer, I would definitely love to discuss this.
Yeah, I should be putting more respect on Stacy's name. Stacy wrote the policies that we are discussing. I don't know about the term limit policy, but all the policies that we've discussed after that, and Scrappy has been so kind to read, are authored by Stacy. So if anybody has any
Wait,
questions,
correction.
what?
I didn't write the anti-indoctrination policy.
Oh, okay,
I was helped. I helped in that, but I did not like write it myself.
okay, okay. So Stacy gave me a little correction. We got a little asterisk there, but yeah. So if people have questions about stuff, they can definitely do the thing with Stacy. Mel, do you want to just sit in the request box? Do you not want to come up, or do you want to come up? Um,
The policies that I was a part of were ending child marriage, the utility conversion, the decriminalization policies, the tax policy, and I can't remember any of the other ones off the top of my head.
oh, okay. Well, it is what it is. You wrote a lot.
The adoption and foster care, I forgot about that one. I did
Yes,
that
I
one
was
too.
ready going to read that one because I'm a foster care child. And I actually sit on my foster care youth board in my city, Stacy, and I help advocate for a better system for us, made better for us and to protect us.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like I definitely am want to going to read that one, and also to disability, because I have a disability. And one thing I would just like to add, pertaining to disability, is school. And what I mean by school is like pertaining to colleges and institutions, right? Like it's a problem that they yes, they have to follow like disability legal guidelines, but it's a problem when people like me get discriminated because I have the disability from the math professor. And you go do everything you have to do, file your report, investigate it, and then that man wasn't fired. So I took it upon myself and did what I needed to do so he doesn't have a job anymore, because nobody doesn't deserve that. And it's the bigoted people in society who have PhDs, but just are not educated in that specific sector. And it's like, how dare you sit up here, become a college professor, and you want to educate the next generation, but you forget that people have disabilities? Like, it's disgusting and it's ill. And I really hate the fact, as a person with a disability, like, you can't like physically see my disability, but I know I have a disability because the doctor tell me. And that's another thing. People are so bigoted that they think that disabilities are all physical.
Uh-huh. I feel that. And I'm glad you're out there doing the thing and smacking fucking bigots upside the head. Y'all please do vote on the poll. We got a gift poll going. It costs 1 rose, so please do vote on the gift poll. And also please gift little Scrappy directly. What how many more policies do you want to read, Scrappy?
I can read uh I can do the foster care one. Hold on. And I can read the abolishment of child marriage.
I think we
Um
already read that, didn't we?
did I? I don't think I did.
Oh, were you gonna read that one next and then you read the rug one?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, mhm.
So you want to do child marriage and what's the other one?
Foster care.
Okay, you want to do child marriage and foster care. Is that it?
Mhm.
I don't have a limit. You can keep going if you want. I just want to like
Okay.
keep track.
Yeah, and I wanted to do the education policy.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I'm
And
fine
then
with
I
that.
also wanted to do social security policy as well, because how is it so hard um for, yeah, just anybody to get social security? And you want to know what's funny too about social security? Like, I came really close to getting it, but the problem was that when I got the paper in the mail for an appointment, and it said, if you can't make the appointment date, please call us immediately so we can reschedule and send another appointment date in the mail for a mental health status exam, so you could be examined by a doctor and everything and get approved and everything. And next thing I know, it's been a month, and I called and I asked, hey, aren't you going to send me another letter? The scheduler checked and I got denied. That is insane.
Yeah, they
And
deny Social Security and disability denies almost everyone the first time. Like,
no,
I
this
think
is
they
my
actually
second
did.
time. And so
Okay.
so I had to put in a request for consideration. And so if I don't hear back, I'm just getting a lawyer so
Yeah.
I could
But
put you in the
so how
jail.
many policies do you want to read, Scrappy? Just so we, just so we
Yeah,
know.
so I'm gonna read the abolishment of child marriage, and then I'm gonna read the foster care one, and then I'm gonna read social security, and then I'm gonna read education policy. Yeah.
Okay. So you got 4 on deck. You good with that?
The
Yep.
What's up, Stacy?
the the education policy is really long. Vander, honey,
Let me
Okay, so
see.
Scrappy, we're gonna skip the education policy, okay?
Okay, yeah, because it's splitting up into multiple parts through from like pre-K to 12th grade. I see it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
real quick, I just want to say Jasmine Sherman is the only presidential candidate that has a policy to end child marriage.
Clock
There is
it.
not another candidate. There is not another candidate who talks about this. But in Republican-led states, it's a huge push to allow from 12 years old, being the youngest, to be married, and then they are removing the no-fault divorce. And if women or children are put into this situation and they happen to become pregnant within that marriage, then they don't have access to abortion. Like, we have
Right.
to understand
Yeah.
how all of these things hook in together and push that like Christian nationalist agenda. And so if you are voting in 2024 and you give any shits about children, Jasmine Sherman is the only person who is ending the marriage of 12-year-olds.
Right.
That
And
part.
we also need to like all of this, it's all interconnected because there's also that, and the Republicans are also pushing to roll back child labor laws. So
Yep.
basically like blurring the line between adult and child, which is a line that it's surprisingly Well, I guess not all that surprisingly, but like, it took a lot of work to get those boundaries there, legally speaking, and the Republicans now are just ripping those away in just a matter of years. So,
Yes.
we have forced birth, and then we have forcing children into marriages. We have forcing children back into the workforce. We
And
have
taking away
right.
contraceptives, which is important, birth control, different types of birth control,
Oh yeah, they're also
and
attacking
condoms.
contraceptives. I want to say hey to Tang real quick. Hey Tang. So yeah, it's basically like I don't know what kind of society that because like even like Hunger Games wasn't this. At least not in
Right,
the movies. I don't know how bad Hunger Games was in the books, but I don't Hunger Games wasn't even this bad.
right.
But we're like, I guess fascism has to grasp at all of its straws. Then again, I don't know what Nazi Germany looked like. I don't know if they had children working in the mines either, but we'll see. But Scrappy, if you want to Oh wait, I saw Naomi, I saw you on mute. What would you like to say?
Oh, nothing. I'm just listening and then I'll add if there's, something.
Okay. All right, little Scrappy, you can go ahead.
Okay, let me pull it up. The abolishment of child marriage policy. And I just also wanted to say, I think it's like, hold on. I want to pull this up real quick. Yeah.
Can I talk about the child labor laws real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I live in a red state. And our governor changed our child labor laws in 2023 to allow 14-year-olds to work in meat packing plants. They can't work in the part with the saws, like the butcher part, but they can work in all of the other sections, the freezer sections. But a nice little thing that they slipped into the bill was that the companies that hire 14-year-olds do not have to cover accidental injury insurance. So anything that happens to that child, they are not liable for,
Yeah, I
which is
heard about that.
absolute bullshit. It's
I
such
heard,
bullshit and it's so irresponsible.
yeah, I heard about that,
To the
and
point
like,
where they
oh, go ahead. Uh oh.
I think she cut out.
Yeah, your audio cut out, station.
I'm sorry. We just passed the Minnesota border.
Yay!
So we're in the same state for the first time ever. Oh my god.
Hmm.
Um, so they also changed the driving restrictions and allow 16-year-olds with intermediate driver's license to be out later and be on different routes as far as work. So they extended that to allow them to work. They also changed the number of hours that they're allowed to work on a school day and allow them to work later into the night, specifically so that we have more bodies in work positions for these corporations. So we are completely undermining the safety of the child by doing this to push the economy, which is disgusting. So please
Yeah, and
check your
children
child
can't,
labor laws.
and also children can't unionize. So they
Right.
basically have the they basically have this like cheap labor that can't unionize that they aren't going to cover by accident insurance for who knows fucking why. And like,
No workers'
and,
comp.
and guess what? The economy's still going to crash because capitalism's going to keep building on top of itself until it collapses. So we're still fucked. We're just gonna
And
be more
she,
fucked. Hang on, we're just gonna be more fucked with more disabled people, with more traumatized people, and an even worse economy because now people are gonna be too disabled or dead to work. That's what's gonna happen. Hey Empress Mo,
And
how you doing?
and I was also gonna say,
uh,
like,
Go ahead, Scrappy.
go ahead, Stacy. I was gonna let Stacy go ahead because she's traveling.
Okay.
the only other thing that I
you all know in regards to this bill in the state of Iowa is that minors can also serve alcohol in restaurants and bar capacity to adults, which is not safe from the age of 14. So
Yeah,
just
our
know
Wow.
that 14-year-olds could be engaging with customers, drinking alcohol, and serving to 21-year-olds. Like, that's not an okay power dynamic.
I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Anyway, go ahead, Scrappy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, to for a thing that's intersectional with this conversation is the U.S. cousin marriage laws. It's
Uh-huh.
legally in 13 states where you can marry your cousin. Like,
I don't like,
the
so when it comes to that, I don't care what consenting adults do. It's not my problem
right,
if you're marrying your cousin. It's about
right.
children.
Correct. And that's also I was gonna bring up too, is that I wonder how many of those children are married off to their first cousin. You get what I'm saying? That was just my curiosity. But I got the policy up here, and this is the abolishment of child marriage. A
Yeah.
child marriage
Well,
is any
okay,
marriage.
so we're gonna hang on a second. I do wanna, I muted you because I do want to address somebody in the comments. I don't know why everyone isn't for disability rights when it's the only marginalized community recruiting something. I don't like. I would like for you to finish your statement after recruiting. Um, but yeah, the anybody can become disabled at any time for any reason. I know somebody who lost hearing in their left ear because like the nerves in their ear just decided to fuck off. Like you like I know what happens when you have a stroke. Like your head fills with blood or some shit. And that can just be a thing that happens at any time. There are disabilities that can happen to somebody at any time that have nothing to do with heretical or like health based triggers, especially when it comes to things like things that can happen to your nerves. There are things that can happen to you that don't even have to be based on an accident. You don't have to get hit by a car. Like you don't have to like have like a plank of wood fall on you. You can just be living life and then suddenly, oh, your eyes decide to go blind. Oh well. Like recruiting as in what you're saying that is. Oh no, you're fine. I just wanted you to finish your statement because I knew you weren't done because TikTok has a very low text limit for chat, which is another reason why I prefer Instagram. But Instagram desktop doesn't work to where I can read it on my laptop, which is very sad. But hey Bria.
I have some I have some information quick about the disability policy
Okay.
before we read it.
Okay.
Um, Anybody who submits an application for disability under the Jasmine Sherman administration will be approved on the first try. We're not creating that barrier. If for some reason we find out that there was some dishonesty or some deception, that disability payment would just end and any monies would need to be repaid. But instead of making it the reverse and not believing anybody and making you jump through all these hoops, we're just going to believe everybody first. Um, that would be in addition to your universal basic income. So if you already receive Social Security disability, that will continue and you will receive your universal basic income on top of it. If you currently only receive Social Security, not Social Security disability, that would end and be replaced with your universal basic income, and there will be no income restrictions, no marriage restrictions, and like no pre-withdrawal penalties or nothing like that in regards to your Social Security. And there, it won't be. We won't like review you for how much assets you have and that kind of stuff. All of those barriers will be removed for Social Security and Social Security disability.
Oh, well, there you go. Hey, Bubbles! Haven't seen you in forever. Thank you for
You know,
clearing that up. Thank
that's
you.
what I love to hear. I just, it always just gives me hope.
Yeah, there you go. I'm down for that. That's what's up, intro. Right on. Yeah, and thank you for adding more to that. And, like, if anybody had any questions, you definitely just answered them. Um, oh, okay. There's a lot of machines going on, y'all. But yeah, hello Ralph. Hello to everybody I missed. We are at 9.5k likes, y'all. Let's get to 15k likes if y'all can hear me over this machine. Let's get to 15k likes. Please do tap, tap, tap that screen. And please do gift on over to our guest reader and co-host today, little Scrappy, being so kind and generous with her time today to read out Jasmine Sherman's policies. If you would like to go read Jasmine Sherman's policies for yourself, here's the website. And there's also an audiobook version if you don't have time to read, or if you don't want to read, if you'd rather have somebody read it to you. But right now we have the lovely little Scrappy here reading the policies here for us. We're going to read, I think Scrappy's down to read 3 more policies. We're not going to do the education policy because it's super long, but we are going to do the other policies that little Scrappy wants to read. And if you missed the live earlier, or you've missed any of the previous policies that little Scrappy was so kind to read to us, the VODs will be uploaded on my YouTube channel, so you can head on over to houseless_socialist on YouTube and check out the VODs. And little Scrappy's pay links will be in the description, so you can contribute to little Scrappy directly. Thank you so much, y'all. Let's tap. Oh, we're already at 10k likes. We can do this. All right, little Scrappy, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, this is the abolishment of child marriage policy. A child marriage is any marriage in which at least one spouse is under the age of 18. The marriage age is determined by each state, territory, and federal district in the United States. After accounting for all exemptions, there is no statutory minimum age in 8 states of July of 2022. These states are Wyoming, Michigan, New Mexico, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and California. Child marriage has historically been socially accepted practice. However, it is now widely seen as a form of child sexual abuse. Some international organizations like USA State Department have deemed it a violation of human rights. According to research, there are harms associated to child marriage, including sexual assault, a decline in education, early pregnancies, and a psychological stress for the children involved. And this is grooming and is a traumatizing experience to a child. Between 2000 and 2018, nearly 300,000 minors were legally married in the U.S. These child marriages typically included a young girl and an older man in the U.S. In many circumstances, adolescents in the U.S. can get married before they reach a state-specific age of sexual consent, which currently ranges from 16 to 18. Domestic abuse shelters often do not accept minors in some areas. Minors cannot legally divorce or separate from their spouse. 7 states, including New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Rhode Island, New York, and Massachusetts, have outright outlawed underage marriage as of July of 2022. During this time, child marriage has also been abolished in the U.S. territories of American Samoa and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Similar legislation is being considered in a number of other American states. This form of predatory pedophilic behavior would no longer be legal or tolerated by Sherman's administration. This policy will be enforced federally and will not be allowed in any state, and there will not be any exceptions for religious practices, and any violator will be held accountable per the guidelines of the community they reside in. Please note, this is a considered abuse, and this action will be held to our standard of justice. The barriers currently in place for minors to divorce or leave their abuser will be removed. Going forward, if you aren't eligible to vote or serve your country, you aren't able to get married. And that's the end of that policy.
Oh, very short and sweet. Like, yeah, let's not fucking abuse children. Like, what gets me is the people who are like, who will go all out for spanking, but the second you say like child sexual abuse, they go literally full fledged quiet. And they say that spanking protects the child from doing harmful things. But I was like, all right, well, let's outlaw fucking child marriage, and then they just they leave, they exit the chat, and it's shameful. Like, you can think of every reason to put your hands on a child, but you don't want to actually do anything that like tangibly helps them.
It goes back like property ownership thing in regards to parents thinking that their children are theirs to do whatever they want to in regards to discipline, which in most cases, I mean, it's abusive. But then they don't want to be held accountable to the way that they think and see their children.
Yeah,
And
they
I
don't
also
want
wanted to add, this is from the National Institute of Health, .gov. And they also reported adult fathers are responsible for 26.7 of births to very young adolescents, were a mean of 8.8 years older than the mother.
to. Okay. Well, that's something. What is fin and fungi marriage? Somebody said something weird in the chat. In the country of India. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, but British men did a whole bunch of shit, right? Like, that can be Native American and Indian. Like, they went around colonizing everybody and pillaging everybody's fucking kids. But, but if anybody has any other discussion, please go on ahead. Otherwise, Scrappy can move on to the next policy that she would like to read. And y'all please do gift Scrappy. If y'all don't have any gifts, like the live. Let's get to 15K likes. We are 11.5K likes. Get to 15K likes, y'all. So unless anybody else wants to jump in, either Naomi or Stacy, Scrappy can go ahead. Also, please vote on the poll.
Um, the children's rights policy is really important to read, and then read the children's marriage policy, and then read the adoption care policy because they all build off of
Mm.
children having rights to begin with.
Okay, I'll read that one. I'll read the conventional rights of children, and then I'll read the foster care. Um, to all make it make sense. Okay, thank you for that. That
But
actually
check
makes a lot
in.
more sense.
But check in to see how long those are first.
It's not that long. The conventional rights of children is not that long at all.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, whenever you're ready. Oh, Naomi unmuted. Hang on. Naomi, go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, Stacy, do you know if we have any plans for free childcare classes? Because I think that that's something that's really missing. I think
Um,
Stacy's not there.
no, Stacy is there. It's just
Sorry, I got a phone call. I'm sorry.
you're good. You don't have to worry about
I
that
got a
right now.
phone call. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Um, I don't know, but I think it would be off the top of my head. I don't want to misguide anybody, but I'm pretty sure that that would fall under universal health care and part of your mental health
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
coverage.
too.
It's going to be like a requirement. Like, actually, um, I'm pretty sure it's like required. You're going to have these children, you need to know how to take care of them. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's like part of your healthcare.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right, little Scrappy,
Okay.
go ahead.
This is the conventional rights of children policy. In the recent years, we have observed an increase in more communicative and supportive parenting techniques that allow children to better process their needs and emotions. The phenomenon that is gentle parenting is becoming more widespread practice as the newer generations dissect the advantages of having more thoughtful and capable individuals. Gentle parenting is a parenting approach that encourages a partnership between you and your child to make choices based on internal willingness instead of external pressures. And then there's a link to the guidepost Montessori about that if anybody wants to check that out. The parenting style removes the corporal punishment for emotional support and accountability. Though traditionally as a society we have justified to use of actions like canning and spanking as discipline for our children, the facts suggest that this doesn't lead to more capable adult corporal punishment. Since the premise surrounding the having of children is for the future of our nation, doing everything in our power to ensure the progress and the maintenance of this country and a paramount. This would mean that for the past few centuries, we have been inhibiting our overall growth and development as a society due to not applying humanity in our parenting and education. Considering children, the future humans meant to foster our ever developing society, we would like to extend them the kindness of learning in healthy manner in the home and in school. The conventional rights of children is that they are learning human beings and deserve to be treated with respect. And that's the end of it.
Helios has went to go fold some laundry, so we
Okay.
can discuss this policy. Naomi, if you have
hmm
anything that you want to say, or Scrappy, if you want to chime in, and then I think we can move on to the adoption and foster care policy when we're finished.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say, to this policy, yes, because again, nobody sees that we need to bring humanity into our parenting, and that is definitely important, 100%. And to see children as our human beings and not as accessories, objects, right? And because again, you do have people that have children just to have them as accessories, like, and not really actually parent and love them. And I just wanted to express something on the gentle parenting thing. We have a lot of people that keep trying to push back on gentle parenting, and that's because they don't have the mental capacity and they are not healed enough to be able to do gentle parenting. And I also wanted to give that perspective on why a lot of gentle parenting is getting pushed back. But I love gentle parenting, and I think it's a very healthier option and solution to all children in society here in America. So this is a really great, and I love this, and I'm looking forward to this as well. And I had a question for you, Stacy. Remember you said with the other policy that was going to be one of the first ones that the administration passes after when they get into office, and I just wanted to know, is this like on the line to like get passed if they're in administration and get into office?
Yeah, everything will be written as an executive order on day one,
Okay,
but
great.
the very first one to cross the desk will be age limits and term limits, and then
Yep.
everything will just follow suit afterward. Um,
Mhm.
but children have to have rights before we can, like, chronologically in our brains, right? We know, like, you got to have rights first, and then we can end the marriage, and then we can change the foster care policy. It's just like reparations. We have to
Correct.
legalize cannabis for a health purpose, and then that cannabis money then gives us the money for the reparation. Like, we have to have land back so that we can use them in domain for the housing policy. Like, some of the policies like work in coordinates with another policy to actually
Mhm.
get the thing done. um, like, we have to have everybody housed, and we have to have universal health care before we can close the prisons, because people have to have a place to go, right? We have to
Mhm.
have those social workers in place, we have to have those therapists in place. um, so that some things come before the other,
Yeah,
but
I
they're
was
all
just
going to be
wondering if it
written.
was going to be an executive order. Yes, you definitely answered my
Yep.
question when you said executive order. Thank you. And I am going
Yep.
to send you
every
I'm going to send you two
Everything
links
will be
to the
executive
policy.
order.
Yep. And I'm
Okay.
also going to send you
Okay.
two links to my reparations legislation that I wrote in Connecticut that I actually got passed, and I'll send you my other piece of legislation that's currently in the House right now, where I'm
Cool.
at in Massachusetts. So you can go check that out. And just the
Thank you.
formatting on how we're pushing for reparations, because again, 40 acres and a mule got to come from the federal government. That land got to come back from the federal government, because when Reconstruction happened, and when we got land, that land was taken back, right? And then I want to be clear, you got people like Whoopi Goldberg talk about 20 acres and a mule. And yeah, her family did get it, that's true, but not a lot of the African American population did get that. So I just wanted to say that, and you could, take a look at, how we're laying out the format for federal reparations as well.
That's awesome. I just want to say, and I think you touched on it a little bit with what you were saying, that you know, um, spanking is laziness. It's just pure laziness. It it's you don't want to take the time to talk to your kids or to put them in timeouts and give them the boundaries they really need. You want to just respond on demand and get the point across right away, right? And that has always bugged me, just that parents just want to be so lazy. Like if you're going to have a child, you can't, you know?
Yes, and one thing I love that is in this policy is your child to make choices based on internal willingness instead of external pressures. Heavy on that. And I really like that. That really hit home.
Yes, exactly.
Uh, real in regards to the reparations policy, I'm not black, so I don't want to speak on this policy. I didn't have anything to do with the writing of it, but I want to give one explanation. The financials and the math and the calculations that were done for Jasmine's policies were were done based on that 40 acre and a mule, like today's 2024 dollar amounts. So
Mhm.
that's where that math came into play.
Mhm. Yeah.
But with land back and recognizing that we're on stolen land with Turtle Island, and providing land back to the indigenous peoples, like it wouldn't be through land ownership because nobody's going to own land. So that's why it's a dollar amount attached to what 40 acres and a mule would be today. So just wanted to give
Thank
that
you.
clarification.
Thank you for clearing that up, for real. I definitely will send you those two links and a link to the book From Here to Equality by Dr. William D. Darity. He's a black economist and he's actually calculated how much to close the racial wealth gap when we talk about reparations as well. So he's definitely a credible source. He wrote that book with his wife. They also have a part two to go along with it, and he goes around over the country and like for example, earlier I spoke on California was able to pass three reparations bills in their house. Dr. Darity actually gave public testimony at the hearing from an economist perspective and from his knowledge. So I just wanted to add that. I'm getting to the foster care one and adoption policy. And I love the graph, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
It's beautiful. So it says the for-profit adoption system in the United States effectively legal human trafficking and foster care is full of abused people with no regard for children well-being. Major changes are necessary to put children's mental and physical safety first. Children no longer be treated as property. About 135,000 children are adopted in the United States each year. Of a non-step parent adoption, about 59% are from the child welfare or foster system, 26 are from other countries, and 15 are voluntary relinquish of American babies. The average age of a child in foster care is 7.7 years old, and 29% of them will spend at least 3 years in foster care system. We have gathered data and stories provided from hundreds of adoptees ranging from domestic to international, adopted at many different ages, ranging from birth to even adoptees adopted in adulthood. One of many concerns with the industry is how adoptive parents are focused and birth parents are exploited. We found that most adoption agencies don't provide accurate information on the process to allow for the pregnant person or the birth giver to make informed decisions while they are actively in crisis. At this time, adoptive parents are not provide accurate information on how they are participating in an ethical industry. The current system uses the crisis and lack of knowledge on the behalf of birth parents and hopeful adoptive parents to make profit. This leaves the children in the situation of losing all autonomy and often growing up without a real voice in the world where their trauma will be minimized and mocked and gaslit. American families are in the constant state of crisis, are easy targets for profit adoption industry. We have looked into the root causes of these issues and acknowledged how the industry came to be and lack of regulations allowing it for it to be so profitable and corrupt. We need to change the selection process to make it more possible for safe families to foster and stipulation harder for unsafe people to have access to children. We need we need to improve resources for foster families. Some areas have good resources for foster parents, but other places do not have. Foster families are left to figure things out themselves. Our goal is to keep as many families together as possible by offering support to parents in need. Second to that, children should be placed within the family if that is not possible within their culture. Only after those options are exhausted should another type of safe home be considered. We must end the practice of straight white Christians getting priority in all foster and adoption cases and end the racist practice in the fertility clinics throughout the system. Hundreds of thousands of children enter foster care and adoption system each year. On the average of less than 50% exit the system each year. A little over half of those exits are the result of adoption and not reunification. For people that don't know what reunification is basically a process where the Department of Children and Family Services work with the parent to bring the child back into the household, and that looks like it may be services, it may be parents in classes. I actually know what it's like to go on the process of reunification, and I didn't end up being reunified because I didn't want to. So I just wanted to let people know if they didn't know what reunification is, there's a link to it to check that out. There was a dramatic drop in children being removed from homes, as well as drop in children exiting foster care system due to adoption or reunification during the COVID-19 pandemic. While there is no definitive research on why, it may be due part in the reduction of home visits and slowdowns in the court system. And they have a link to the ACF data, which is the U.S. Children's Bureau of Administration for Children and Youth and Families. So they have that information if you want to check out the graph. The Children's Bureau supports the development of state and tribal welfare reporting systems to enable the collection and analysis of important information about the children and families. They are also responsible for improving case practice and management. The Sherman administration will be changing the requirements to care for children, and adults will no longer be able to own children. The current adoption and foster care programs and guidelines will be ended, and new requirements and will be put in the place for children in need of care. An adult may care for and love a child who is in need of a home. However, it would not be legal transaction of ownership. The steps listed below will follow then when determining who would care for a child. We want to ensure that a relationship between the child and the birth parents can be facilitated whenever appropriate. The insurer of children's information will no longer be accepted. When a child receives care from another guardian or family, we will no longer update or destroy medical information such as birth certificates, birth time, birth weight, etc. Priority will be given to safe caregivers in this order. Family preservation. Keep the children in the home, provide resources to the family instead of others to care for the children. Kinship. Care provided by biological family member, provide resources to family member instead of foster family. Fictive kinship. Care provided by a member of the same culture or community member, provide resources to them to care for the children. Legal guardianship. Care provided outside of the biological or cultural family. Cultural diversity classes required to understand and maintain the child's cultural language. Legal adoption of adults with their consent. Legal proceeding to change legal documents and last name. When the child reaches adulthood, age 18, unless emancipated, they can decide if they legally want to change their name and become a part of the care provider's family. The current barriers that adoptees face are extensive, such as a loss of self, a loss of medical records, and cultural knowledge. The Sherman administration focuses on to provide a safe and nurturing experience for children and reduce as much as trauma as possible. Over the past several years, more than 50 fertility doctors in the United States have been accused of fraud in the connection with using their own sperm to impregnate victims. Fertility fraud is a failure of part of the fertility doctor to obtain consent from the patient before inseminating with them with someone else's own sperm. This may give a rise to a number of different types of fraud involving insurance, unnecessary procedures, theft of eggs, and other issues related to fertility treatment. Many victims have come forward after finding out this occurred with them. The increase of DNA testing has been able to showcase the trend and siblings are being connected. Activists have been pushing for statewide and national legislation to make fertility fraud a crime. These victims have requested that the regulations be put in place for donor eligibility, including but not limited to the honest, accurate medical history to recipients, limits on number of live births, genetic marker testing, a full disclosure of donor accuracy. A doctor must inform a patient if using sperm from themselves or a friend, a family member, or associate. As of February 2022, there are laws in Indiana, Florida, Texas, Arizona, California, Colorado, Utah, Arkansas enacted legislation in April 2021 and bills that have been introduced in 7 other states, including New York. Under the Sherman administration, this call action will be considered assault and will be treated as a criminal offense and not a family court issue. Children are not property and will no longer be treated as such. They are autonomous beings and will have a voice in what happens to them. Children will have rights with the other policies under the Sherman administration, and they will give access to therapy, other resources to identify dangerous or harmful situations. In addition to resources for the children, parents and caregivers will also receive care packages, including pamphlets with information on parenting basics, classes, workshops, and respite care.
Well, there you go. So, I caught some of that, and I'm already familiar with the policy. But yeah, children are not property and should not be treated as such. These should be treated in these should be taken to criminal court and not in family court, because people get away with too much shit in family court, and we know that like family court is fucking shenanigans. So yeah, I agree.
Yes, and we love fictive kinship because that's something that the natives actually have that protect their children from being adopted from like other ethnicities. The Indian Child Welfare Act. Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's a perfect example of a perfect model to protect children. I love this too, and how they brought up culture because it's very important for all children to be connected with their culture. And if and this brings up the topic of transracial adoption because it's been a hot topic, as you guys know. But like my thing is with transracial adoption as being someone in foster care, like the outrage from like the black community is like ridiculous because again like we I understand that some of us black people don't have the resources to become foster parents, and I see how this can help us as well, but we don't have a lot of black people that are willing to adopt even if they did have the resources, and so that's another problem on why I said to them you should not be outraged about transracial adoption. I love the fact that you guys have created boundaries and like guidelines pertaining to like, hey, if you are gonna adopt the child out of a different culture, you gotta go do these classes, you gotta learn how to do their hair, be around the cultural people, learn practices, all of these different types of things, which is important when you have a multicultural family. And I feel like multicultural families are beautiful, transracial adoptions are beautiful, bottom line. So yeah, every child deserves a second safe nurturing home.
For sure. I mean, there's just a lot to transracial adoption, and I've just anecdotally speaking seen more harm than good come from it, because
Right.
adoption at base is like, hang on now. Because adoption at base is like that's a good idea for a lot of different reasons. But the way we do adoption in the United States and the way we have like racism and the way people have fucking agendas, that really taints how good adoption is.
I agree. I agree.
Does anybody
Because
have
I definitely I agree. Because with that being said, with the racism part, uh, I really feel and yes, like it really does show with some foster parents that I even been with, like definitely with the racism, but also oh I'm just doing it for a check. So I definitely agree the way how everything runs is like unacceptable and heavy on that children are not property. And I like family preservation.
Yeah.
Keep the children in the home, provide the resources to the family instead of others for the children that are taking care of them. So, like, I really like that idea, and I feel like that's really important because when families are struggling, you hate to call like CPS. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's a child in need, and you want the family to get services, but you also don't want the child being taken away. And I hate how that puts people in a sticky situation, and it makes people like me, when I see children in those situations, a little bit harder to help. So I definitely agree with this whole policy, and it's beautifully written. Stacy, did you write this? Because this is very beautiful.
I did.
There you go. Uh,
Um,
wait, hang on a second. How
thank
many how
you.
many more policies are we in? How many more do you have left, Scrappy?
I'm looking right now.
I think it was just this Social Security
Yes,
one.
it
I
was the
think is the
Social
only one
Security.
left.
Okay.
Yep, I read the Social Security.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that because I forgot to cancel Discord Nitro, so I gotta like file for a refund. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna have a little bit of a discussion, and then I gotta go. So go ahead.
Okay. Social
Can
Security,
can
income,
I say one
SSI.
thing?
Go ahead.
Can I say one thing about the adoption policy real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So currently, adoption is like a legal transfer of ownership, okay, of a child, and we're all aware of that. That will no longer happen. So if you are to follow any of those steps in the list, you will not receive like ownership of that child. You will simply be caring for it until that child is 16, and at 16 that child can make the decision if they want to go live on their own and receive their universal basic income and their housing, and their health care, to be away from you or whoever their caregiver is. And then at 18, that child could then make the decision if they wanted any legal name changes or anything. But there will be no transfer of ownership anymore.
All right, that's cool. And with that being said, I'm actually gonna go ahead and cut it off here because I should just go ahead and do this honestly. But we can come back next time, and I'll probably be back on Houseless Socialist to go live again. But yeah, I should go ahead and take care of this to be perfectly honest with you. So thank y'all
Yeah, you
for
should.
so thank y'all for all the time you contributed. Thank you so much for your graciousness and patience, little Scrappy. Please do send me your pay information so I can put that in the VOD on YouTube. And I will talk to y'all later.